Welcome back to Badass Women 50 Plus. I am Robin Lane, producer, director, psychotherapist, 87 years of age, and a badass in my own right. Our show features women who have overcome enormous challenges only to have emerged stronger. We believe them to be role models. We know they are inspirational. And no one is the personification of the adage, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, than our guest today. She is the great Shakespearean actress, Deborah Ann Bird, who is currently touring both the United States and Europe with her acclaimed one-woman show, A Black Girl's Journey, which we will showcase excerpts from. In it, she so seamlessly segues from her personal narrative into a classical Shakespearean monologue that it takes a few seconds to recognize what she's doing, so pay attention. So I will stop talking and we will meet with Deborah Ann Bird. Hi, Deborah Ann. It's so wonderful to have you here. I know you have a very busy schedule.
Absolutely. How are you, Robin? It's so good to see you too.
Can you tell us what you're doing?
Oh, I am running here and there and everywhere. I had a really eventful day. I just came from Massachusetts, where they had the Berkey Awards, and I was nominated for a Berkey.
Ah,
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. We had a great time. I'm preparing now for the United Solo Theater Festival. We're playing at Theater Row on November 20th, about 9:30. And then I'm working on heading up towards Arizona, where we're planning a Southwestern tour for Becoming Othello. And then in the middle of December, I'm heading off to Prague. I get back to New York, and then I'm heading off to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to perform there, and on and on.
it sounds absolutely marvelous. Let me
Absolutely.
ask you something, Deborah. In terms of A Black Girl's Journey,
Yes.
what I found absolutely fascinating is the way you interweave Shakespearean text with your personal narrative. Has anyone ever done that before? What made you do that?
Um, I I don't know if anyone's ever done it before. That's one. But two, I think I did it because I needed to, one, I was always knowing that I'm a Shakespearean actress. And I wanted to marry my own personal life with Shakespeare, kind of not necessarily to make a point. My director wanted to kind of make a point that, that Shakespeare is for everyone. It is for you, Deborah Ann, and you are for it. So I weaved it together because I wanted you to know that these stories are all human experiences. No matter what the human experience is, whether it's Shakespeare's words or my own words, what you're going to get and what you're going to understand and what you're going to see is the true human emotions, true human experiences. And so just to see that these two things can blend together, and it doesn't have to be something that's terribly heightened language and no one understands what you're saying. You can speak it in a way that is sounding like ordinary, everyday American text, that the way we speak now these days. And so I wanted to marry the two of them together so that, one, it'll heighten the experience of what you're hearing when I'm saying it to you. And it will help you to know that Shakespeare is very accessible if you let it be.
Wonderful. So let's go to video.
It's that 1604 was a big year for me. It was the year that Shakespeare's Othello was first performed. Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me, the story of my life from year to year. The battles, sieges, fortune that I had passed, I ran it through, even from my boyish days till the very moment that he bade me tell it.
Let me ask you about growing up in Spanish Harlem. That was probably one of your first big challenges.
Kinda. It was a challenge, but it was wonderful at the same time, depending on what time we're talking.
Well, when you were with your large extended family?
Oh, okay. So that was great excitement and great fun and very interesting because I lived, of course, with my grandmother and all of her daughters and all of their children, and we were all stacked into one small apartment, and it was really exciting most of the time. Sometimes we had to sleep head to foot, which means my head is here, your foot is there. That was kind of adventurous. I lived across the street from school, and so it was kind of easy going to school. It was great playing in the schoolyard and on the block when the streets were closed. All of that was great up until we moved away, and then life got a little more challenging.
Well, let's take a look at that time in Spanish Harlem.
I was born in New York City in the South Bronx on St. Anne's Avenue at St. Francis Hospital across the street from St. Mary's Park. So I like to say I was born among the saints because God had a plan for me, a plan to give me hope and a future. My mom, Willie Marie Glenn, was locked in a heated romance with my father, Carlos Ramon Machicote. Now, Mom and Dad live in a small apartment on St. Anne's Avenue with my older brother, Joey. And although they now live in the Bronx, they were both raised in Spanish Harlem. Papo! Papo! That's what my mama called my daddy. Bring the kids in here. It's time for them to eat. And then they gotta take a bath. Oh no, I'm not going to get my goose shirt wet again.
You were saying that life got a bit more challenging. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, why not? So, like, say maybe I was 12 to 14. It seemed like something was going on with my mom. My mom was like having a really challenging time with her own personal life. I didn't really know it at the time or understand it at the time. All I knew is that she was no longer going to work and that life for me had changed. I remember being sad and hungry sometimes and feeling a little bit more alone. My brothers and sisters were off doing what they were doing, and my mom was outside hanging with her friends. And it was a really challenging time for me until I decided maybe I need to leave this place. And then I decided to leave town, not town together, but my neighborhood, and move downtown where my grandma lived.
So let's take a look at the way you talk about it in the play, in your performance. Okay, so we'll go to video.
Nanny! Nanny! Can I come live with you, Nanny? Finally, she agrees. So, I packed my books and my clothes and my things in a large black trash bag. And I leave that place. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. I did see my mom from time to time because I worked in the candy store around the corner, right across the street from where she hung out on that park bench. Now, Mom would eventually die on those same streets, right in front of that bench where she laughed daily with her friends, drinking and drinking her favorite dark rum until the thoughts of the man that left her life were long, long forgot. I guess that woman who stabbed her thought the same thing as T's mom. Yeah! You ain't nothing but a drunk in the streets.
All right, so now you're 16 and you fall in love for the first time.
Mm-hmm. That was fun and silly and very thoroughly unexpected. I was, hanging out and having a good time at one of our neighborhood gatherings, and up came this beautiful man. Oh boy, whatever you want to call him. And he was so smooth and so suave and so handsome. And I was like, I didn't look at him first. He saw me and came over to where I was. At first, of course, I was extremely nervous and not knowing.
And how old was he?
He was 2 years older than me.
You know, when we look back at our early love
Yes.
and we realize they were children.
Yes, absolutely. Just a boy thinking he's a bad now man, kind of trying to be smooth and as manly as possible. At least he really dressed really well. He was very well put together. I think I've always liked that.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Let's take a look at the video in which you talk about him, okay? And that experience.
Absolutely.
I'm Jeffro. Damn, he's smooth. His walk, his voice, the way he tilts his head. Oh, wait. Don't forget the infamous head nod with the lip. Can I get your number so I can call you again? And just like that, he has me hook, line, and sinker. And, oh no, I missed my period. I gotta check myself out. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. Gotta figure out what to tell Nanny. Nanny, I think I'm pregnant. Well, we just gonna have to take care of it, that's all. You just gonna have to get an abortion. Okay. So I called Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey, it turns out that I'm not really pregnant. It was a false alarm. You kill my baby, I'm gonna kill you. And the next thing I know, I'm packing my things and being introduced to Mrs. Fabian, a social worker. Hi, Debbie. I'm gonna take you downtown to the group home for unwed mothers at the New York Foundling Hospital. You'll be living there for a while. Don't worry about it, you'll be okay. You'll be living with the nuns. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
So that didn't end all that well, but now you're 19 and you fall in love again.
Well, see, this was a different kind of thing. This is someone who I met, who met me, who when we saw each other, there was like this mutual attraction. There was like, that slow motion run that you do when you see someone, like you can imagine you just slow, you seen those TV shows where,
Honey, I've been there.
It was like that. And it was wonderful. I mean, the experience of, it wasn't just the beautiful person that I met. It was also their surroundings and their life experience and how they lived was, even though we were in Harlem, it was still very different from what I knew, from how I lived, how I was used to living. I had never really been in a building that had terraces or doormen.
I know, I understand. When I grew up, I hadn't either.
So all of that was very, interesting and intriguing to me. Of course, the beautiful man himself, he just was very charming, and his hair was just a bit curly, and he was like this beautiful complexion, and he had the first time I really got to look in someone's eyes, and their eyelashes were actually curly.
And they weren't
And
false.
they weren't false, no.
They were the
They
real
were the
thing.
real thing.
Let's take a look at how you describe the whole experience, which starts out one way and unfortunately goes in another
Absolutely.
direction. So let's go to video.
He to me was a thing of loveliness. Mr. Rudolph Brown. Well, let's just call him Rudolph. With every kiss, I fell deeper and deeper and deeper in love. I felt safe and loved and wanted. Oh, to be wanted. Oh, the joy. And Rudy said, hey, Deb, you want a drink? And I say, sure. And we drank our drinks and we laughed. And we kissed and we laughed some more. And as we kissed some more, we laughed some more. And oh, where's my clothes? Damn, man. She cute. Who first, man? Me first, man. I'm gonna go first. And I know him, but I recognized him. Other two, it was David, and oh my God, is that Rudy? My Rudy? I don't know time to think about that now. This stranger, he's coming at me. He's climbing on the bed alongside me and on top of me. And in my stupor, I was scared and dazed and confused, and he shoved himself inside of me.
That was pretty devastating, incredible experience.
Indeed.
How you overcame it. I've thought a lot about Deborah Ben, and the only thing I can think is, was it the church?
You know, I always lean on my faith. I always lean on. I've learned to find and seek peace where I hear and understand there's peace to be found. You know, there are a lot of scriptures that say things like, cast all your cares on me because I care for you. And so I leaned a lot on that kind of thing. Put your burdens on me because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And so all those kinds of scripture things, and like I say, the word, you know, I really leaned very heavily in that direction, in order to find my space of peace, in order to, what I call, go ahead and be okay. I really, really, and because singing brings me peace in my heart and in my mind and in my soul, I did a lot of singing. A lot of it, of course, is gospel songs because those things calm my soul and my spirit. And
Give us an example.
let's see. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, God has taught me to say, even though it is well with my soul. Stuff like that.
Girl, you got it going on.
Now, you know, you got me on the spot, so I don't know how all those notes were. But that is how, you know, I just go deep and just sing with every fiber of my being, and to just cause myself to understand that even when it's not well, when you repeat and sing over and over that it is well, it becomes well because you
That
have
is
what you
true.
say.
As a psychologist, I can tell you that is actually
Absolutely.
clinically true. So let's take a look at your involvement with the church and how it is an awakening for you in terms of yourself as an actress. So let's go to tape.
And I'm studying to be a reverend myself. I feel safe in the rhythms of the Bible. Ha, I love the stories of the Bible, especially the Old Testament. Especially those passages like Moses and Aaron in Exodus. And I have heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage. And I remember my covenant, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm.
So then you move on and you're at Marymount College. And you are a theater major. And you are moving into the third year. And you find that there are challenges that go beyond your ability and your skills, because it has nothing to do with your ability or your skills.
Absolutely,
Am I right?
absolutely. You know, I was just talking to someone about this the other day. You know, sometimes there are things that are beyond our control, that are happening in the world. Like, I knew I had the talent to be a Shakespearean actress, I knew that I had studied. I know my voice and speech was on point. I knew that I understood words and how to look it up. I knew what alliteration was. I knew what folio caps were. I knew what all of that was. I was very clear about heightened language text and how to use it. The challenge that I wasn't prepared for is being told that as a person of color that I was going to have all kinds of challenges and that I probably would not have a career in the classics. And that didn't sit well with me, mainly because I had come to school specifically to learn Shakespeare. That was why I came. Of course, I wanted some of those other theater classes so that I can learn how to run theater company and things like that. And I also wanted just a basic education that college will offer you. But when they told me that as a brown person, I was going to have a problem with the thing that I came to college for after spending so much money, I was no good. And I decided that if I can't change I can't change coming to the planet as a brown woman. I can't change coming as a woman. I can't come changing as a brown person. So what needed to change was what was around me, which was American theater and the classics. That needed to change. People's minds needed to change. How people thought about people who looked like me. All of that needed to change. And so I decided that I'd start a theater company and make sure that I can begin that change and make that change happen in the world. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Well, let's go back a little
Yes.
bit before all that. Okay, let's go back to
Yes.
being in Marymount and discovering that there are, serious problems with the
Absolutely.
environment.
You know,
let's go to
if
the-
I go back just a little bit, you know, when you go to college, it's supposed to be like a safe space. And teachers are supposed to help you to understand how to do certain things, how to grow, how to become better and better at what you do. But when a professor tells you that, don't try that, don't do that, or when they know that you're good at a certain thing and tell you that's not the way you should go another way. Deborah Ann, with your facility for language, perhaps you should try your hand.
Deborah Ann, we're going to watch your performance. Let's
Then
not
I
take
won't
away
tell.
from the surprise, okay? Don't tell. Let's watch the video.
Are they really telling me that as a black girl, I won't have a career in the classics? Turns out the answer was yes. Later that week, I went to see a one-on-one with that agent. Deborah Ann, how old are you? I'm 34 years old. And what do you want to do in theater after graduation? I want to try my hand at being a Shakespeare actor. I don't know how easy that's going to be. You're in earnest, right? Yes, I am. What role are you playing, Lady Bracknell? Well, you might want to be sure to take photos of that production because no one is ever going to believe your resume when they see it. I walked right out of that class, tears running down my face. I run down the hall, not cool, knowing quite what to do. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? I jump on that elevator. I press 5 and proceed upstairs as I sob. I sob about all my dreams being dashed. I sob for every black girl that had been disenchanted. I sob for every broken heart that had been disillusioned. I sob for every dime of that $75,000 that I just spent to learn Shakespeare and the classics. I open the door and it all explodes. Professor Swain! I'm leaving the damn theater. I'm leaving the theater. I can't believe that these damn teachers is telling me that I will not have a career in the classics and that I can't perform in the showcase of everything I came to learn in the first place. I'm leaving the theater program. I'm leaving theater altogether. This is some real bullshit. Deborah, it really doesn't matter what profession you choose. If you're a banker, there are going to be problems there. If you work as a journalist, there are going to be problems there. No matter what you choose, there are going to be problems there. So you might as well go with what you really want. Besides, you're an actor, and a damn good one. You belong in the theater.
What is the fiber that you've got in you that just makes you take on challenge after challenge after challenge and overcome and overcome and
You know, once I decided that I was going to stay on the planet, well, you know, I was trying to take myself out a couple of times, but once I really, really got, I mean,
You felt
seriously,
suicide?
suicide, you know, whether you go to the rooftop or whether you go to the window or whether you try to think about taking some pills or whatever it is, I really tried to be off the planet, you know, a few times. But once I really got that, I'm supposed to be here and I have a mission. So now it is my mission to the people. In the past, the thing that kept me was I had a daughter and I knew that I was her mom and I was worried about what was going to happen to her and who was going to take care of her. So at first I was, you know, really worried about something outside of myself as a reason to live. And then once I started to grow and understand who I was and understand why I was supposed to be on the planet and who I was supposed to be serving, once I got that, and of course, I can say it again and again, every time it gets heavy lifting, I know where to lean, I know where to go, I know how to pray. I know how to get back to center. I know how to go to my mentors and my spiritual guides and then go inside and hear myself and listen to myself and stuff like that. If I go into prayer mode, almost immediately I'm okay because there's no excuses in there. I can't go in there and just say, oh, there's no hope, because once I go into prayer mode, all up in there is joy, peace, love, hope, a fresh start. All of it is there. So I need only but tap in to realize that I can be okay if I choose it.
Remember, we are on the last Tuesday of every month at 7:30. See you next time when I will have just celebrated my 88th birthday.